Hello everyone, I'm Luke and welcome back. Episode 8 of the Road Squad series, and possibly the last episode. You'll have to watch to find out. This week we're at Monza in the GT3 cars. Same track as last week, but with me being so close to gold, I wanted to get it done. And I knew around Monza I could have a decent race. Whether I do move up to gold, you'll have to watch and find out. Now, starting in 16th, after quali, things weren't looking too great. However, with it being Monza and quite a lot of chaos, it did help us move up quite a few positions. How far? You'll find out. I'll flick up the safety rating and positions on screen now so you can see whereabouts we're sitting. And as you'll see, very, very close to gold. Before we move over to the race, as always, if you do enjoy the content, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. It does help out the channel. And if you do like the videos, please do consider hitting that like button. But after that, let's move over to the race and see how we get on.
Go.
Lights going green then. Getting a decent start. Trying to hang on the back of this McLaren and see if we can fling it up the inside between the middle here.
Clear left.
Ooh, Ferrari getting sent off to the side there. Make sure we go around. Porsche does come over and drift into us. A little bit of contact and he spins off as well.
Yellow flag.
Now my thinking here of going up the inside was there's a bunch more cars coming down. I didn't want to get taken out, so I cut across the grass there.
Clear left.
Running a little bit wide on the exit as well. But up into P14. Hanging it up the outside of this McLaren, I guess. See if we can beat him on the brakes.
Well done, Luke. Good
Nice and late on the brakes there. McLaren tucks him behind. Got to be careful, there's a couple more slow cars. Lots of gravel being flicked up in front. But we made it through. Again, up in front, Porsche spins off into the gravel, facing backwards. It's not really how you're supposed to take that corner. And up the inside of this Porsche, nice move there. And the Mustang off on that corner, so very slow. So we should be able to make a move coming up into the next corner as well. So going up the inside, just to make sure we have the race in line. But we do make it past in the end and manage to tuck back ahead. Maybe running a little bit deep into this corner. Mustang does close up a little bit there. Getting a good exit though. And yeah, so from P18 to P10 in the first lap, or not even completed the first lap yet. It's pretty good going. Aston Martin in front up going slowly as well. Appeared to be letting the Corvette through there. And very slowly coming in on the exit. And I think he tucks off into the pit lane. Yeah, there we go. So, gain 9 positions this lap.
This is terrific. Exactly what we came here for. P9.
Looking good. Let's get our heads down. See how we do. On the brakes then. And we do have the Porsche diving at the inside there. No contact very luckily, but we do have a compromised line. Do stay ahead though. Let's keep an eye on the gap to Schiller in front, 1.7, and we've got 0.7 behind to Perez.
The guy in front is shallow.
Nice and smooth through here. A little bit of gravel being flicked in front, so someone has dipped 2 tyres onto the gravel there, but nothing too serious.
The gap to P8 ahead is now 1.0.
As you'll hear there, gaining 0.1 of a second. However, we do hit the wall coming into that corner, very unfortunately. Lose a little bit of time, but not too much. Perez there dropping back slightly. If we can just gain a little bit more speed on Schiller, we should be able to get into the slipstream. See how we do on the brakes here. Nice and tight through here. Keeping it planted over them curbs. Probably could cut it a little bit more, but then I'm risking settling the car, so avoiding that at this stage of the race anyway.
The gap to Perez behind is now 1.0 seconds.
As you can see on the MFD down the bottom there, got a little bit of damage on the front and on the left hand side of the car. Hopefully it doesn't affect our pace too much.
That lap time was 1:54.60.
Great first corner there then, and as you can see, up by nearly 7/10. However, Perez hanging on behind and Schiller in front, maintaining the gap, so they're having decent laps as well by the looks of it. P1, however, though, 8.1 seconds ahead, so they're absolutely flying to build up that sort of gap in only 5 minutes. However, they probably do have the benefit of clean air. Not so tidy through there then, down to 2.5 tenths. Gaining a little bit of time on here though, nice and smooth there this time instead of clanging into the wall.
15 minutes remaining, 15 minutes to go.
These 20-minute races do absolutely fly by, only 15 minutes to go, 5 minutes already gone. So Schiller opening the gap back up to 1.7 seconds then, gap behind still maintaining, so no pressure from behind really. Yellow middle sector, not the best, however again a little bit of time through here, and as you can see they're nearly up to a second ahead. They've been 2 wheels in the gravel there though, so that's a little bit fortunate. However, we have still gained a decent amount of time this lap. Schiller pulling away even more. We're getting a little bit of understeer through there, trying to get on the power nice and early though. Really don't want that guy behind to catch up.
The car in front's lap time is at 1:53.02. The gap to Perez behind is now 0.9.
Schiller up in front then, about 7 tenths quicker that lap. That's probably why I've lost all of that time. Yeah, let's just get our head settled down though. Oh, car in front has gone straight on. That was the Mustang. So he looks like he's potentially lost 1 position there. So maybe with these cars now in front being quite grouped up, it's going to give us the opportunity to catch up and overtake. You can already see that gap from Schiller's dropped from 2 seconds down to 1.6. And it looks like he is battling with the Mustang. So I've had a little bit of contact through there, and the Mustang is off and the McLaren is off into the gravel.
Clear left.
Both of them spinning out, McLaren hitting the wall there and doing a little pirouette for us. Another 2 positions gained then. Fantastic.
Next car is John, green flag, sector 2.
We're on another quickest lap, so can't complain. Let's get this BMW in front in our sights then and track him down. Nice and light on the brakes here then, getting a nice early turning. Cutting that curb perfectly. Nice 2 wheels on the curb there. Not running out wide this time and dipping 2 wheels in the gravel.
Yellow flag, watch out.
As you can see again, up on this lap.
It looks like Paynton has gone off. Green flag, sector 3.
Not the quickest middle sector for us though. Also not the quickest last sector. Losing a bit of time on that corner, not the tidiest. Gap in front up to about just over 3 seconds, I think it was. 12 minutes left, still got plenty of time to gain. A lot quicker than the guy behind, almost a second quicker that lap. So what we can do is literally focus on the lap ahead. And the curb's nicely there, making up a decent amount of time through that corner, 1/2 tenth. And we're potentially going to gain all the way down this back straight as we've carried the momentum through there, as you can see. Don't know what the BMW in front's doing, running out wide, putting 2 wheels on the gravel. However, fantastic for us, it's slowed him down a little bit.
The gap is now 1.8 seconds.
Gap closing right up. Nice and smooth through there, gaining a lot more time, up by over a second this time. Can we maintain this delta throughout the rest of the lap? Carrying a nice little bit of speed through there. Nice carrying the speed out onto the curb to 1.2 seconds now. Looking like a very tidy lap for us. Piling on the pressure to that BMW and freeing up the gap behind as well. Nice on the brakes here again, cutting the curb nicely. Keeping the foot in it all the way through. Car not getting too unsettled from that curb there. And we should be in the slipstream of Braff now, so we'll be gaining time all the way down the back straight here. Finally sorted out that middle sector, got it green. Hit the brakes at the 50 board, turn in.
That's a new fastest lap for Silver.
On the power nice and early, but we are running out wide, so we do have to let off. And unfortunately we do lose a couple of tenths there. However, still going to be the quickest lap of the race. Not the race of my race anyway. I guess I was in the dirty area of that BMW up in front going around that corner. Maybe followed him onto the dirty line. Braking just after the 150 board. Getting it stopped nicely.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. Fix all your apexes. Wait for the chance.
Two wheels on the gravel as well. See that dust spitting it behind.
Now 1.3.
So losing about half temp through there. Not the best line.
Incident in sector 1. Yellow flag.
Braff also not having the best race either though, down to 1.3 seconds. As long as we can keep gaining, that'll be at least one more position we can gain. Maybe getting a little bit too much curb there, but
Stewards have warned us about track limits. Keep it between the lines.
didn't see a notification for the track limits. BMW getting a bit loose on entry. Helping us gain a little bit more time, up to 1 second, below 1 second. Let's focus and get right on the back of him. Back end of the BMW looking like it's slipped out a little bit there, bouncing over those curbs. Feel like that is giving me a sign that he is pushing. Still not able to pull away from us though, so we do obviously have some good pace, especially with this damage as well. However, I don't know if Braff up in front is also running a bit of damage. Hanging it in gear 2 for a little bit too long there.
Alright Luke, you've got half your fuel left.
Did bounce off the rev a little bit, and
Halfway home, we've got plenty of fuel.
was not the tidiest lap of our race, all orange sectors. However, it does look like we carried some more speed out of the final corner with us having a little bit of time down this main straight. Also could just be that we're lower on fuel. Not the best through there, getting a little bit too much curb on that left-hander, I think. Gap behind to Perez opening right up to 6.2 seconds. So no pressure from behind there then, all we've got to do is just focus ahead. 11 seconds up to Silver in P1, very quick racer there. About a second a lap-ish that they've gained on us since the start of the race. Braff really not having the best couple of corners here then, and we are right on the back of him, who's race unfolding a little bit. Getting the curb nicely there, nicely tucking ourselves in the slipstream.
Front is now 0.38.
Down to 0.3 seconds. See what we can do coming up into here. We have a little bit of dirty air coming through this section here, so we do want to be careful. Closing right up on him there. Nice on the curb. Could have taken a little bit more curb there. Probably what I'm talking about there with the dirty air. Just see us washing out wide and we had to let off, which does unfortunately let the gap open back up. All of that to redo again then. Having to change down to gear 2 for this corner. BMW getting a nice big step out on the exit there, which is going to give us the run coming down this back straight. Probably not close enough to make a move, but we will have a bit more momentum, so I can hopefully gain a little bit. About 5/10 quicker than Braff then, that lap. Now I get a little bit distracted here, and I feel like I almost did brake a little bit too late there. However, pretty much getting it stopped perfectly. And you do see that we close right up. Still not the quickest lap from us though. I feel like the dirty air is definitely taking effect here. We can see 3/10 down. Even though we've probably got the braking zone on that first corner the best.
Sector 2 is yellow.
And we have a Mustang off here.
Sector 2 is clear.
Not too sure what happened there. It looks like he might have come into contact with BA. Running out wide onto the gravel there as well. And what's going to happen here then? We've got 3 cars rather close. Looking like it could be a nice tasty little battle. Especially with 5 minutes left of the race. Another potential for 2 positions. We're in a little bit deep into that corner there. Probably could have taken a bit more curb. However, getting 2 wheels nice on the curb there. Car not getting unsettled. However, Braff, I feel like, did get a quicker exit out of there and does look like he's closer to the car in front than we are to him, so losing a little bit in the slipstream. Braff getting a little bit tower happy there. You can see his car squiggling about as he puts the power down out of that corner. Again, he's right up in the slipstream of Fritz in the Mustang. So, not sure we'll be gaining anything on this lap. Nice and light on the brakes there. As you can see, gap coming down a little bit. For the next series on this channel, I'm thinking about entering a championship through the Race Control membership. If you do like the idea of that, let me know down in the comments. Hit a thumbs up.
Come on, Luke. Push, push, push. We can get this guy.
Almost going off myself there then, with Fritz and Braff almost making contact and going straight on. I basically just almost followed them off stupidly. However, that's closed the gap right to Braff. Fritz disappearing off into the distance. So, with me potentially needing to make a move on Braff here, and Fritz kind of running away at the moment, I don't really know if I'm going to be able to get to P5. As the fight with Braff is going to slow us down. Closing right up on the brakes then. 3 minutes to try and get this move done. Getting a little bit squiggly for Braff there on the exit. However, we're going to get all the benefit of the slipstream down this back straight here, and he's not going to get any, now being 2.5 seconds back. Carrying a little bit too much speed into there and having to change down to gear 2 again. Not too bad on the exit though.
You've just done a 154.04. Sector 2 is 1.6 off the pace. Green flag in Sector 1.
So that's going to be about another 2 laps. Good job we put enough fuel in, we've got about 2.8 left.
Limits. Seventh position.
Braff getting really deep here.
2 minutes left. 2 minutes.
Giving us a chance to slip up the inside, however he does cover it off. Not really wanting to go that shallow into that corner, so choosing to sit in behind. Nice entry through here, and right on the back of Braff now. Definitely going to be feeling the pressure up in front. So can we make a move up into this corner here? Doesn't look like we're going to be able to carry the speed. Just poking our nose to let him know we're there. However, choosing the sensible option and tucking it behind. think we did distract him a little bit there, really not getting the best through that corner and carrying a lot more speed on the exit. Looking at the momentum we do have here, we should be able to make a move. So going at the inside, trying to hold out the gears as long as we can, on the brakes as late as possible. Braff trying to hang it around the outside, but as you can see, it's a little bit squiggly, being on the dirty side of the track there. We do make the move count, so up into P6.
Alright Luke, the next car is Jan. Pit window is open. This is the last lap of fuel, 6th place.
This is going to be the final lap then. Braff is right behind us, so we do need to be careful here. Now I'm completely missing the braking zone here, because I was a little bit distracted and going straight on. Trying to take as much of the corner as possible.
You cut the track, keep it nice and tidy.
However, unfortunately, we do get a 0.75 points for track limits. A little bit unfortunate, but that is the way of racing. Braff closing up here then. It was looking like he's going to dive down the inside. However, getting on the brakes nice and late, and he thinks better of it. I guess there's no point in ruining your race this late on. Getting a little bit of a better line than Braff there, maybe running in the dirty air. Feeling the effects of that. You can definitely manage your tyres, brake temperatures, and just general control of the car when you don't have a car in front. Don't have that dirty air affecting you.
Hit this lap, in this lap.
Obviously you ignore that pit stop window there. We're finishing this lap. Nice and tidy through here then. Just see the cars in front, too far ahead for us to make any sort of a move though. Braking at the 50 board then. A little bit loose into this corner, however we do have enough of a gap behind there, actually opening the gap up a little bit even though we made that mistake. So coming across the line in P6.
P6.
Let's
Okay,
go over
so
to the results and see how we did. Finishing in P6 there, gaining 12 positions as we started in 18th. Going up on the driver rating by a tiny little bit, but the main thing we're focusing on is that safety rank, and absolutely amazing. So we finally reached that gold safety rank. Probably will do a couple more races unrecorded just to get myself a little bit deeper into there. And then I'm thinking about moving over and doing some driver championships online. If you guys do want to see that and you do enjoy the content, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next one for a potential championship. Enjoy.